The other day, I decided to draw Ferncloud and all of her kits, which is a lot, so let's get started. I guess I should say spoilers if you haven't read through The Last Hope and The Broken Code. Yeah. I have a long list of favorite characters and warriors, and Ferncloud is definitely high up there. I just read Ivypool's Heart the other day, and I was so happy she got a little cameo. It got me thinking about her again, and I realized Ferncloud is such a strong cat. Her mother got killed and used for dog bait. She watched several of her kids die. Her brother became an obsessive psychopath and became the god of the dark forest after being murdered and then died again drowning in a puddle, yet she still remained sane and compassionate. It's so upsetting that we didn't see Ferncloud, or Brindleface for that matter, among the Starclan cats that confronted Ashfur. I feel like they would have tried to convince him to stop before, he died again. Missed opportunity for some family angst, man. Also, even after her kids died, Ferncloud still chose to stay in the nursery and help other mothers and kids. Ivypool's Heart explored how the cats grieve a bit more, and Dovewing's grief made me further reflect on how Ferncloud must have felt. It was so bittersweet seeing other kids be born and thrive while also reminding her of what she lost. Every time a new litter was born, Ferncloud must have recalled her own kids and how they weren't there anymore. Yet she chose to stay and help raise so many other cats. Her job was so important because the way someone is raised definitely impacts the way they turn out. For example, Broken Star and Tiger Star, they were raised by, well, this will call it trained Tiger Star 1, and Broken Star was raised with a lot of hate from Lizard Fang. Was her name Lizard Fang? Lizard Stripe? Oh, whatever. Lizard Girl. I wanna make Ferncloud content in the future. I wanna explore that little side of warriors. Alright, that's it for my blurb. For her design, I wanted to give her lots of similarities with Ashfur to show their kinship, so I gave Ferncloud some of the same little freckles and hearts. And I had to make her head fluff reminiscent of Ashfur's. I'll talk about Ashfur's design in another video, not this one. He's a whole other thing. She's got an upside down version of his cheek marking, and I've always imagined her with these light gray spots that kind of look like petals. So I put that in there, obviously. And there she is. I don't have a lot to say about Dustpelt. He was a pretty cool guy. That's really all I can say about him. I love the snide guy has a soft spot for kind girl trope. It's my weakness, and Dustpelt fits into that trope. So yeah. It's funny how he and Brackenfur became the designated den builders of ThunderClan. That feels like the cat equivalent of dads mowing the lawn and trying to fix pipes or whatever. They're resident dads of ThunderClan. I really don't have much to say about him. I'm sorry, Dustpelt enjoyers. I do like him though. Dustpelt. I don't know what to say. Design. Dustpelt's cheek fluff gave me the most trouble when I was drawing him. I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted his head to look, and looking back, I think I want it to look fluffier. I don't know. It just didn't. No matter what I did, it didn't seem quite right, and I didn't know what right was, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's canonically he's a dark brown tabby, but I always imagined him being this like dusty desert sand color. So yeah, and I I gave him some dark brown stripes, and then I was done. Yeah. When I think of Shrewpaw, the first thing that comes to mind is Blixamy's Epic Rap Battle of Warriors. Shrewpaw? Ha! Who in Starclan could that be? Hang on, can we pause this? I need to check the Warriors wiki. I'll stop now. I relied heavily on the Warriors wiki for this video. It was my best friend during this. Whew. I was also reminded of how whack the first arc family trees are. If you know, you know. I put Larch Kit and Holly Kit in this canvas too, because these three all lived the least, so I grouped them together. I like to think that after Shrupa died, he made sure to take care of his little sisters in StarClan, fulfilling his big brother duties. Originally, I was gonna make the kits carbon copies of Dustpelt with slightly different colors, but the creative side of my brain wouldn't allow that, so I gave Large Kit Dustpelt's colors with Ferncloud's fur pattern, and Holly Kit a dark brown version of Dustpelt's pattern. Then True Paw is just solid brown with lighter chest and paws. I actually really like how all three of them came out, especially Large Kit. She's my favorite. Too bad she's dead. Spiderleg, our long-legged boy, and I don't like how I said that. And one of the many absent parents in Warriors. I mostly thought of him with a sort of negative indifference until I saw this one map, Repeat Until Death, co-hosted by Sadie and Dragon Wolf Rook. And it explored the concept of Spiderleg's grief. Imagine if he became an absent father because he was traumatized and grieving for witnessing 3 of his siblings' deaths. Everyone grieves differently, and what if Spiderleg was never able to move on? What if he didn't want to get too close to others out of fear of losing them? I'm not gonna, condone or I'm not gonna forget the absence, but I now also see Spiderleg as a grieving cat. That's one of the things I love about maps and PMVs featuring side characters. They always make you think about perspective that I'd forgotten or never really thought about. In my design, I gave Spiderleg longer legs, and I kept him a plain black with some lighter gradient on his face. I kind of wish I made him a darker black, but I can change it later if needed. Final Spiderleg. Birchfall. He sure was there. He's still there. He's the only one still there, actually. Everyone else in this video is dead. R.I.P. Dustfern family. I feel like the only reason Birchfall's still alive is because he's Dovewing and Ivypool's father. But we don't even really get to see him interacting with his family. I just remember this one time in Own One of the Stars when he was like, "Hey Ivypool, I see you're training in hell too. Nice." And it was so weird to me. The one time we see him talking with his daughter and he's promoting her training with ex-convicts and murderers. It was so weird. I just don't know. I literally forgot that he was her father until that moment, and it was I don't think the Aaron really gave him a personality, but I think he's smug. The last time he was written in a scene, he was puffing his chest out with pride because Doving named her kid after them. So I'm gonna headcanon him as smug now, because that's better than nothing. And most of the cats in ThunderClan are smug now, so whatever. I've always imagined Birchfall being just one solid color when I read the books, so I did that, but afterwards I felt bad about how plain he looked, so I went back after recording and gave him some stripes. Final Birchfall. Last but not least, it's Foxleap and Ice Cloud. I had an inexplicable love for these two when I first read the books. They are my favorite side characters, and I don't have a good reason why. I just love them. Middle school me even made OCs based on them, but with their names flipped. Foxcloud and Ice Leap. If I ever say their names wrong, it's because of that. I did all this, and then do you know how sad I was when both of them died in between books after the Great Battle? I was mortified. I never get to read about them eating fresh color, sunbathing, or whatever when a pregnant Agnes does look around camp like they do every chapter ever again. I miss them. I miss them so much. My fox cloud and my fox sleep in ice cloud. I did all of these designs in one sitting, so I saved them for last to keep me motivated. And man, I had fun when I finally got to them. It was a breath of fresh air after drawing Birchfall. I'm sorry, I don't hate Birchfall. I'm sorry, Birchfall. Anyway, I gave oh my goodness, I can't talk. I gave Icecloud a fluffy tail like Ferncloud and Foxleep big green eyes. I might change Foxleep's face a bit if I draw him again. I don't know, something seems, I think it might have been the head fluff. I don't think that's quite how I imagine it, and his face is a little wide, but I'll change it. I can always change it. According to the Warriors wiki, he's actually a brown tabby, but I'm choosing to ignore that because I always imagined him as a reddish orange. And for a second while I was coming, he started looking too much like Firestar, so it scared me for a second, so I had to change it. And yeah, and that's the last of the designs. This was sort of tiring, but also fun. I might tweak some designs if I draw them again, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the result. And I tried to keep this video shorter because I feel like that's better. Yeah. We'll see if that changes in the future or not, but whatever. Comment down below what your favorite design was. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.